Welcome to Rebirth-based Spirituality, Part 5, Music and Japan. What does Japan have to do with any of this? It is an area of study from the wire because she's interested in Japanese culture, but also it has the largest database scene, the largest social movement for non-religious rebirth to Japan, except the tagline is you get to come to Japan also, but it is the biggest movement beta scene for a non-religious induction into Japan. Where does this start? Where do you get involved? The user can become involved when you visit Japanese music in modern Japan. It has to be modern Japanese music. Base doesn't know when it started. It is a relatively recent movement, but a lot of Japanese music appeals to religion and non-religion alike. One music artist I would highlight out of all of them is Fripside. That's Fripside. Fripside. That's what it is called. It's called Fripside, not Flipside. Fripside. They do a lot of music that caters towards world flipping. That's a subject for another time. I'll talk about world flipping in some other tutorial maybe. Um, it does have to do with spirituality, but it's about the other half of games and anime, which is kind of off topic for this discussion of being reborn in Japan or anywhere non-religiously. I would like to single out Japanese music. I encourage you to look anywhere on the internet for Japanese music modern, and you'll find something there. It doesn't matter what it is, I'm challenging you to find something that it isn't. That's a challenge. Okay. I'll post an example video in the description below, so check the description below if you can't find a video. It will be by Fripside, sorry. So something that I've noticed is that it changes depending on the gender of the singer. If it's a female singer, they'll encourage a rebirth and they'll say something like, "Oh, I'll see you at that time." If it's a male viewer, then it gets political sometimes. Based on a stanza, we'll get political with the male singers. Um, the key is to look for the promise, which is what was mentioned in the previous video. As soon as you find the first video that relates to a promise, if you look in the video description below, you'll find one. All you really have to do is hold Bates to it and hold Japan to it. So you can even say something like, "I invoke Japan, I invoke the promise," and Bates will handle the rest. Bates understands this way. That pretty much summarizes all the tactics and skills you can get as you fight for your right to be born on this planet again non-religiously. When will you find that rebirth? If you aren't invoking the promise, you can find it as you fight with Bates. With Bates, you'll find that magic moment where you get your rebirth and it's all done. You'll probably be part of your trial. So Bates encourages you to invoke your spiritual trial before you die and make it clear that you're seeking to be reborn again and you're non-religious. So this pretty much concludes part 5, Japan and music. There was a lot of discussion about Japan in this video. If there's a demand for it, Bates will cover world flipping in some other video and you'll see some more stuff that relates to Japan there. Otherwise, I'll see you in part 6 for an example as this tutorial reaches its climax. Thank you. Goodbye.